fears grip human consciousness with tenacity like uncertainty does, where self-assuring deep breaths are all that stand between you and a downward spiral. Amnesia Rebirth instills similar anxieties, either through unceremoniously ripping away light sources that keep its oppressive darkness at bay, or by devilishly revealing the monsters hidden within all along. When this first-person fright fest from developer Frictional Games holds nothing back, you'll be gleefully sweating bullets.
Shit.
Amnesia Rebirth opens with a thunderous plane crash smack dab in the middle of Algeria's harsh Sahara Desert. You play as Tazi Trianon, a passenger who awakens with no memory of what happened to her colleagues or their anthropological expedition. Worse yet, a mysterious sickness pulses through her veins, causing intermittent bouts of unbridled rage, and her symptoms only get worse in the dark. Without wading into spoiler territory, Rebirth's story is utterly captivating. Yes, its protagonist suffering from amnesia is immensely trite, although it is right in the name, but the hard-hitting revelations unfold much differently than you'd expect. It's a compelling and terrifying tale of trauma twisting people into unrecognizable husks by scattering their cherished memories to the wind. Darkness is an oppressive foe in Rebirth, taking mechanical shape as the spine-chilling fear system, which is familiar territory to anyone that braved Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Staying near light sources is a must, as the dark will chip away at your fear level otherwise, eventually resulting in a soft fail state. Flippantly trudging into the abyss without a light inevitably results in Tazi slowly succumbing to her rage while bouncing off the walls in an unsettling fit. Thankfully, there are also telltale warning signs that you should always pack lots of incandescent goods. Matches are invaluable tools new to the series and vital for keeping your fear level in check. Tiptoeing around spooky underground tunnels is much easier once a match is lit, and it's quite satisfying to watch their stems gnarl backward as flames inch toward Taji's fingers. A steady hand is essential though, as any knee-jerk movements will put a match out, making every one feel precious. It's frightening yet exhilarating, though the trusty oil-burning lantern returns from Dark Descent if you need a more steadfast spotlight. But the necessity to procure oil means the lantern isn't an outright replacement. Instead, it's a perfect complement to the fickle but plentiful nature of matches.
My eyes. Ugh.
There's plenty of puzzle solving and beastie run-ins to be had in Rebirth early on, particularly in its top-notch military fort section. Its corridors are rife with candles, but you must pick and choose which to ignite, as it's easy to use up matchstick and lantern oil supplies quickly if you're not frugal. Rationing light sources for puzzle rooms is usually ideal, as they're sinister Rubik's Cubes that mustn't be rushed. The longer branching puzzles in the fort can be quite creative and satisfying to solve, though they get disappointingly simpler after that. Of course, it wouldn't be an Amnesia game without something horrible on two legs trying to gut you like a fish. Ghouls, as they're appropriately dubbed, carry on that proud tradition. Hearing one of these gangly uglies slam a door behind you will nearly stop your heart dead. You can't fight them off, so hiding is always the best course of action. The trouble is, catching a glimpse will drive your fear level up while matches and the lantern give away your position. It's utterly terrifying hiding in a dim corner with every muscle insisting that you either run or light a match because the darkness is ripping your mind apart, but acting on those impulses will cause a ghoul to do the same. Unfortunately, much of what makes gameplay so compelling inside the military fort doesn't carry over to the remainder of Rebirth. Instead, it slinks back into straightforward hallway scouring of its early caves with little to no variety. Ghouls are so scarce that you rarely need to worry about bodily harm aside from mitigating your fear level. Puzzles suffer too, as they are either startlingly brief or don't tie into their surroundings as thoughtfully. Nothing in the roughly 7-hour campaign reaches the highs of that area again, but it's tough harboring any disappointment because Rebirth's storytelling stayed engaging even as the gameplay itself became more predictable. Amnesia Rebirth beautifully tackles the battle between light and darkness, not just thematically, but mechanically too. The areas where it clicks strike an excellent balance of problem solving and pure adrenaline, even if some of the later sections drag due to uninteresting puzzles and infrequent ghoul tussles. But with a consistently engaging story throughout, Rebirth still stands as one of the most thrilling survival horror games in recent memory, one that is anything but forgettable. For more on Amnesia Rebirth, check out our full written review on IGN.com, and for more horror, check out our review of Remothered Broken Porcelain. And for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.